How y'all doing today? Ask the Lord to bless each and every one of you. And I ask the Lord to allow me to say exactly what he wants me to say. The topic is still about children. As parents, we don't move things out of their way to keep them from getting it. We let it stay there and say, you better not touch it. You better not touch it. You don't move things out the way. Because if you move it out the way, you letting them control you instead of you controlling them. You could put something down and you told that baby to leave it alone. Don't touch that. More they keep throwing it to the side, put it back up there. Don't take it away. Keep putting it in front of them. And eventually they're going to get it. And it might take this for them to get it, but it will happen. We have a way of sometimes these new moms and some of these old moms too, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. They don't know what a parent is about. So if you don't know what parenting is about, you need to ask somebody who is a parent to give you clarity. Because if you don't do it right, it's going to come back to hunt you. Whenever you tell a child to leave something alone and they keep doing it, you punish them. Because if you don't, they're going to go to somebody else's house and tear up their stuff. When you tell them not to touch something and you leave it there, you telling them you are not going to move it, but you are not going to touch it. You have to have order. When you're a parent, you have to have order. You can't allow the children to rule you. Because if you let them rule you, you're going to be riding in the back of the car seat, in the back of the car, and that person going to be driving, which means that child is going to control you because you've always allowed them to have their way. Chastising says in the Bible, you chastise what you love. You ever heard people ever say, if I didn't care about you, I wouldn't say nothing? Well, as a parent, if you didn't care about your child, you wouldn't chastise them. Now, as parents, we give them one time, we give them 2 times. But on that 3rd time, if you do something that I told you not to do, you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. That's punishment. And that's going to tell you, I better leave that alone. I better not move that. I better not throw it on the floor. I better keep it right there in front of me. And believe me, it works. But we have to do it constantly to be respected as parents. Because if we let them have their way, they're going to run over us. They're going to disrespect us. And if you don't chastise them, they're going to chastise you. That's just self-explanatory. If you don't chastise your children, they're going to chastise you. There's one thing to respect. To respect your parents means a lot. But you know you have to earn that respect from them children. You have to say, I'm your mama, and it's no. You cry, whatever you want to do. You can fall out on the floor. It's no. And you keep falling on the floor, you're going to get that. But just know, you are teaching them how to move in society. You're teaching them to leave things alone that don't belong to them. You're teaching them to take care of whatever you have given them. You have chosen to give them, you're teaching them to take care of it. You take your child to somebody's house, people ain't gonna move stuff off their table because your child is there. Nobody else touches it. But they're gonna say something about your child if your child is not under control. Parenting is hard. Parenting is not easy. It's a job. But if you don't do that job right, it's going to come back to hunt you. It's going to come back to hunt you. It's going to come back to hunt you. And say you're going to jump on your parents. My daddy, back in the day, he didn't play. My daddy meant what he said and said what he meant. He wasn't scared of the police. He told us what he wanted, and that's what it was going to be. We were scared of daddy. We weren't scared of the police. Because when my daddy said it, he meant it. And if we didn't get that utmost respect to our parents, we got chastised. I love my parents, but my daddy didn't play. He was very well known in Troy. Big man. Took care of his family. Was respected by his children. Even my brothers. I remember one time my brother was telling me, well, he was just talking about old times. He was telling me, just telling everybody, some of his friends wanted to break in at the school break shack. But he knew if he broke in it, he was going to get a killing. You know, my brother came back home. My brother didn't go with him because my brother knew if he went with him, the police ain't going to stop daddy from doing what he going to do. We respect our daddy. And if your mama hit you, I don't care what she do. Don't put your hands on your mama. Because it's going to come back in your children. You're going to reap what you sow. I don't care what your mama said. If she hit you or whatever, you walk away. But you don't fight your mama. You don't do that. Out of respect, out of love, you walk away. And just like my brothers, my brother Jacob, he was the type of child when my dad and them get on his case, whoever got on his case, he didn't argue with him. He didn't go back and forth. He kept his mouth closed and he walked away. Even if he knew that they was telling him the thing that he needed to know. But he knew what he was going to do, if he was going to do it or if he wasn't going to do it. But my daddy and his parenting skills kept his house in order. And so did my mama. My mama didn't whoop us very much. My daddy did. But we respect our mother and father. We honor them to the most. And if you honor your mother and father, the Bible says your days will be longer on this earth. The Bible also says you can leave before your time. You can rush your time up out of here. Some people die early. But God promises us, if we learn to be obedient to our parents, our life will be sweet. He didn't mean that by being sweet that we weren't going to have no problems. But most part, it was going to be a sweet life. But we must chastise our children. My grandchildren, they get out of line. They know Nana going to do what she going to do to them. Nothing said. Nothing said. Other than, get them, mama. Get them, mama. That's what's going to be said. The parents is not going to get in the way and say, you don't whoop my children. They're not going to get in the way. They're going to say, mama, you do what you have to do. Because we know you love your children or your grandchildren. So you do what you have to do out of love. That's what we do as nanas. So I just wanted to bring this to the day. The Lord has just got children on me. It's just so much going on in the world, and it's just awful. People taking people's lives, and children are disobedient. They do what they want to do, and then they have to face the consequences. But you don't have to be bothering anybody for something to happen to you. I must fix that. You don't have to bother anyone. Somebody can come and bother you. But I just wanted to say this today. And until next time, thanks for watching.